This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's do another question here. Pender J wants to know, why was Andre so hateful towards Big John Studd? Did Andre not understand it was more McMahon's direction to have him called Giant John Studd?
Well, I think that in general, anybody that showed fear, I guess, is one way of looking at it with Andre, that Andre didn't like that. It was like, come on, man, be a man. But Studd, more than anything, I think that there was a little bit of, I don't want to say jealousy, because that's not the right word. It just was more along the lines of Andre really didn't care for big guys that wanted to trade off on, I'm a real giant. Andre felt he was the only giant, felt that was his gimmick, and that people shouldn't infringe on his gimmick. Go be Big John Studd, but don't be Giant John Studd. And I think that their personalities just kind of rubbed the wrong way when Andre, I think that Andre would probably do stuff more with a smaller guy like Harley Race than he would with a big guy. It's funny.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe just personality wise, maybe he liked Harley more, and maybe he just thought that they were working harder. I don't really know. I think bottom line, it was a personality thing. If Andre liked you, he'd do anything in the world for you.
But there's a lot to talk about. I guess we should mention the biggest thing that he had in this era was the Big John Studd feud, the body slam challenge, the $15,000 body slam challenge. It's old school, but it is something for Andre to sink his teeth into. Do you think there was any consideration for Andre to do anything else during these first WrestleManias?
No, I think it was the only way to use him, quite frankly, because it's a natural with Studd. And then later on, Andre was throughout the years, the natural for the battle royals. I think everybody that had a giant battle royal in their territory through the years, if they had built to one big giant night of a big battle royal, they wanted Andre for that attraction. So to be on WrestleMania and be with all those football players, it's somebody who could definitely handle himself and a logical winner.
Is it true that, Arnold Scotland was Andre's first handler? So we always talk about it as Tim White, but I think that's 85. Before that, it was Arnie.
No, the original was Frank Bauer.
Okay.
And then, Frank Bauer, continued on until Frank got up in age, and then Arnie did it a lot for Andre in the WWE from, I don't know, probably the early 80s on, and then Timmy from kind of the early 80s on from there.
Is it true that the travel department referred to Andre and Tim White as Big Bear and Little Bear in code?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Never heard of it in my life.
I was in a book somewhere and I thought, I gotta ask Bruce about that.
Depends on whose book it was.
It was your mom's.
My mom didn't write a book.
Yeah, she didn't do shit.
You want to? Okay, now we're going to moms, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, I have it on good authority. Back in the 70s, your mom was the original super spreader. I don't know though. It's just what I heard.
That's very rude. I would never say anything like that about Deborah, and I think you should apologize about my mother. My mother's dead.
She wearing a mask?
No, she's not wearing a mask.
Why not?
She's up right up there in an urn.
I put a mask on her just in case.
You put a mask on your mama.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.